Oh, there we go. Wait. We got it. God. Sorry. You've not even. Sorry. I'm probably screaming down my mic there. I'll put it here. One sec. Anyway, as I was saying, you've not even heard any of that, and I was just randomly ranting on without even looking in the chat to see if people were actually saying the stream is okay. But oh my god. Right, I'll start again, shall I? Or I'll start a little bit again. So, right, let me go back in the chat, double check that it's working just to make sure. Sorry, I know, I'm terrible. I've just been rolling down the chat and everyone's been like, no sound, we can't hear you. What are you saying? Oh, God. Right, is it okay now? Well, hey, hooray, it worked. Wow, we got so many people in there. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. So, what I was saying, all you've seen is my hands go like this and my mouth's going, you can't even hear me. But, I spoke, that was really good. I spoke for about 5 minutes on the weather and on what people were saying in the chat. And it's not even on that. What I'm going to have to do is put a pinned comment down below for people who watch afterwards to say sound starts at this number. No, so what I was saying, anyway, I won't do a whole rant about it, but I was just saying that I think Jason said in the chat that he said there's no snow in Blackpool, and I was saying that there is snow here, and he said, you know, he said on the comment that or in the chat that it was freezing where he is. Well, I was saying there is snow here. It's been going on from about 9:15, but it's been absolutely freezing. It really has. I can see my breath. That's what I was doing when I was doing this, like. I was like miming seeing my breath. That must have looked really weird without any sound. But yeah, that must have looked a bit weird actually. Why did it have to be on this video that there was no sound when I was doing that? But no, so I was saying basically you can see my breath in this room. It's terrible. It's freezing. I've done my packages. I've actually had a pretty productive day today. Unfortunately, I haven't actually extended my dispatch time. I know a lot of people have extended their dispatch time on sort of Sunday, Monday time in preparation for this. I wasn't that, I didn't have that much foresight, or I wasn't that sensible, and I just thought, oh, it'll be alright. I didn't even think about my packages. I thought, yeah, that'll be fine. And, you know, I've managed to get through and stuff, but it's been a tough week. It really has to try and persist and get those parcels out and continue working in the cold. I am allowed the heating on at 2 o'clock. I had the heating on at like 2:30 yesterday, 2:30, and yeah, I can't wait for 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna put it on because it's like an ice box in here. That's what I was saying earlier as well. It's like an ice box in here. I don't like it. But as you can see, I'm togged up. I mean, I've got my hat on. I had my gloves on a minute ago. But yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, even in bed at night, it's cold. It's ridiculous. But you know, we have had a pretty decent winter. You know, it's not been like deathly cold throughout all of December and January. You know, we've had cold days, but we've not had a really bad winter on the whole, so it's not too bad. So anyway, I'll go up the chat now and we'll start afresh on what people were saying. So 1 second. Oh, Sean Gilbert says, hello, I'm new to selling. Do you have to send your eBay monthly invoices when you declare, as seen in your video, you don't have an accountant? How do you work yours out, please? No, you don't have to, like, what you say, do you have to send your eBay monthly invoices? No, you don't have to send your eBay invoices with your tax return. You don't need to send anything. As far as I'm aware, this is how I've been doing it, and I've not been in any trouble the last almost 3 years. So what I do is you send your tax return, but you keep all your, well, what I do is I print off my PayPal monthly thingy report, monthly summary report or something it's called, and it includes all my PayPal transactions. So obviously then if anyone were, you know, if I was to get audited or something like that, and then they came round, I've got 12-month concertina file, so 12 segments in the file, and obviously I put each month of the year in there, and then I keep all my cost of goods receipts, all my equipment, you know, receipts for equipment and all that other stuff in other folders as well. And then what I do is I keep, at the end of my business year, because the end of my business year is obviously different to the end of the tax year, the end of my business year is when I need to change over my folders. So then I change over my folders, and then I keep the records, obviously, for, I believe it's 7 years or something, you have to keep them. If I'm wrong on that, someone can illuminate me, but obviously I've kept all my records for the last few years, and I will continue to do so until I'm absolutely sure that I can get rid of one of the years, you know, come maybe a few years' time. But yeah, that's what I do, and I have separate electronic records, which are profit and loss account, and I have my little black book that I write down. Basically, when I purchase postage through PayPal, I do it all through PayPal, so I'm covered on the PayPal monthly summary report, or whatever it's called, and it'll be on there. It'll be on there, you know, the Royal Mail transactions for buying postage online. But what I actually do is I keep a separate record of it on my black book, and I do monthly profit and loss accounts, and then I do a master profit and loss account the end of each tax year, and then I back that up on a USB, and I'm getting an external hard drive very soon, and I'm going to back the master profit and loss accounts up, and actually all the monthly ones, because I better do that as well, on both devices. So I've got a backup in my black book, so to speak. I've got my records on paper, or most of them fairly up to date, maybe a few weeks behind, if that, and then I have them on the computer as well. So that's the way I do it. Don't think that I knew all this when I first started. It took me so long to develop a good system that I liked, and to be honest, there's probably better systems out there. I don't even really need that black book really, but I like to keep that because I like to have another backup method of, you know, just a few things wrote down, you know, figures and stuff as a backup, you know, from when I've been purchasing postage or purchasing stock and stuff like that. But yeah, there's probably better ways to do it, but I just kind of evolved this my own system over a period of about the first year of my reselling. I had so much trouble finding out how I could account for things and how I should be doing things. I actually used to do, when I first started, a spreadsheet for individual items, and I thought there's got to be a quicker way of doing this. I don't have a problem with if you want to do a spreadsheet for individual items. If you want to look at individual profits, that's fine. But I'll tell you this now, if you're going to be full-time and you're going to be doing like a fair volume of sales, it's not time efficient to write down on a spreadsheet every single item. Like you go Nike, Adidas, your trainers or whatever, and then you put in your cost or whatever, and then it, you know, using the formulas, it does your PayPal fees and your eBay fees. And I did that for a while. But if you're getting, you know, 200, I mean, to me really, I'm getting 200 to 300 sales a month between eBay and Amazon. That's like almost 10 a day. I'm not writing down 10 sales a day and then entering it in. I know that it's partially done for you with the formula on the spreadsheet in Excel, but I'm just not doing that because it's not necessary. For tax purposes, all they want is the bulk figure, your expenses and your income, and make sure that you've accounted for that in some way, you know, in some legitimate way, like, you know, on PayPal or on eBay or on Amazon, you know, printing out the necessary documents. So, or with regards to charity shop receipts or auction receipts and stuff. So yeah, but I could talk about the way I do, you know, accounting in my business forever. As I said, it was such a hard time I went through trying to get a system that worked for me. But that's exactly it. It's a system that works for me. It doesn't necessarily have to work for someone else's. There are many different ways of doing accounting. You could go down the route of traditional accounting if you want and do a balance sheet, you know, profit and loss account. I don't think a balance sheet would necessarily be needed for a reselling business, but or whether it could even be produced. Maybe it probably could. But profit and loss, a balance sheet, and a cash flow forecast. You could do all that. you just don't need it though, you know, unless you're a bigger business. So I like the way I do it. It works. I've not had any trouble as of yet. If I get audited, then if I have some trouble, I definitely won't be preaching that this is a good way to do things. But certainly I've not been audited yet. They're happy with the figures I've been giving them, and I've accounted for all that I can account for really within my business. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna leave it there because like I say, I'll ramble forever on that. We'll just go up the chat again. I know I'm way far behind in the chat, so I'm very, very sorry. I can never keep up. I don't even know how Nickens are here do it on their chat. I mean, I only have about 40 people in this live stream, and I can't even keep up with that chat. I'd be terrible if I ever got to the point where 100 people watch this. I mean, I wouldn't be able to keep up with anything. Right, so people are saying I've got sound there, so that's cool. Right, okay. So I can go down a bit now. 1 second. Just loading. An external hard drive for me, this is Bumcrack Picker, is going outside to get in my car to try and drive to the post office in the snow. Oh my god. Right, where are we? Let's see. I think they're just having a chat, most people. Oh, hi Phoebe. Phoebe's in. Indie Chick's in. I know I've probably missed a few people. Hawkridge Wares and Collectibles. Ads, what was the first item you sold? Well, before I answer that, well, if I can answer that, but before I answer that, I did, before Thursday Talks, before I came live, I did see your comment. I really appreciated that comment. It was so lovely. Basically, what's the dude's name? Hawkridge Wares and Collectibles. I think it was my last Thursday Talks, or maybe one before. I didn't check which video it was, but he made a really, really lovely comment about my videos and how, you know, motivational I am. And I'm really thankful that someone is getting some help and some motivation and some enthusiasm out of my videos. I really do try and put a lot of effort into my videos. As you know, I do Thursday Talks every week on the dot, almost around 1 o'clock. Well, I say on the dot, but almost around 1 o'clock every week. And I do put a lot of effort into it and a lot of time. And I'm really glad that people are being helped out by the videos, because that's what I want. That's why I started this channel. I wanted to give something back to the community. I know so many people say this is the reason why they started the channel, but for me, genuinely, it was because I wanted to give something back to the community. Obviously, I had intentions to make a little bit of money from YouTube, which I see nothing wrong with, you know. I wanted to make a little bit of money. I wanted to help people out at the same time. I wanted to do it because I love YouTube and I've been doing YouTube for so long. But yeah, I'm really glad that people are getting help out of the videos, and whenever I get a really nice comment like that, I think it should be addressed. And sometimes I don't get time to answer everyone's comments, so at least this way sometimes I can voice my you know, my thanks instead of doing it in a comment. So yeah, but I mean, recently I've been getting loads of comments. I've not really been having time to keep up with them all, but I am trying to stay on it and try and respond to as many comments as I can, because I want to let people know that I do appreciate the fact that they've commented on my video and that the videos have helped them. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, ads, what was the first item you sold? I can't remember. I know it was, I remember the first item I picked up. I don't remember the first item I sold. First item I ever picked up was, and I know the title as well, it was a 1,000-piece Ravensburger Beneath the Sea jigsaw puzzle, brand new and sealed. And don't know whether I said that. Did I say it was brand new and sealed? But I don't know. But yeah, brand new and sealed. And I basically didn't sell it for, like, I don't know, it must have been like a year or 6 months, and I just didn't sell it. I bought it for £4 in a charity shop, and I hope that actually this story will help new resellers on what you need to do when you first start, because this is what I believe you need to do. People will say, how do I get involved with reselling? How do I start? The answer to that question, in my opinion, is you start. And what I mean by that is I watched Nick Hill's videos. You could say that I'm like a child of Nick Hill's, you know, in terms of my reselling career. There'll probably be hundreds of us out there in 30 years' time saying to the new generation of resellers coming up, oh yeah, I was a child of Nick Hill's, and it'll turn into some weird like legend thing. But no, but I consider myself that because like I was watching Nick's videos religiously. I went back through his videos, I was watching them all. I was so enthusiastic to do this. And then I just said to myself, right, I'm just going out there and doing it. You know, he says he gets stuff from charity shops, so let's go to town, let's go to the charity shops. And I went to the charity shops, and I just saw this sealed Ravensburger puzzle on the top shelf. I can vividly remember this. And I thought, oh, Nick talked about Ravensburger puzzles, but he did say he only gets them sealed, or whatever it was he said. Because I know that most people don't actually deal with jigsaws unless they're sealed, which is the same as me now, because it's a hassle buying unsealed jigsaws, because some of the jigsaw puzzles don't have the exact amount of pieces that they state on the box, and then how are you meant to even count them all and stuff? Oh, I've been through all that, it's just horrendous. But I saw it on the shelf and it was £4, and I thought, I'm buying that. Now, if I saw the same thing on the shelf now, I would avoid that thing like the plague, because £4 for a brand new and sealed puzzle, really? Am I going to pay that seriously now? But back then I was like, yeah, I'm going to grab it. So I grabbed it, and I grabbed a few other items. And I think I got 4 items, if I remember rightly, from my first ever trip out. And as I mentioned in a recent video, I only did charity shops for the first 6 months of me being reselling. That's all I did. I didn't start car boots, didn't do any eBay sniping really or anything like that. I just kind of did. Oh well, I did. Actually, I did snipe a DVD bundle, and that was my fail, because that's how I realised that the market had fell out of DVDs at that time. And yeah, that was pretty funny. To be honest, like most of the things I picked up when I started were fails, and don't be afraid to make those fails, because if I hadn't have done that, I wouldn't have learnt about all the different things I've learnt about now, and all the different things I know have value, and like I could recite it's really weird, like I could recite prices for you right now. I could recite certain things. I know, look, that thing there goes for £15, that thing there goes for £30. I can recite them, and I can do that for so many things. And you even get to a point where you might not see something, you might not have seen it before, but you know the price, or you know that it's going to be around about this price because of that experience. You've seen something very, very similar that has gone for that price, and you just know instinctively it's going to be around that price. You get home, you research it, and you're like, oh yeah, it was that price. And then you feel quite cocky with yourself, because you're like, oh yeah, I'm pretty good at this. But that's kind of it. And the more you build and the more time that elapses, the more you can do that. And I think in 10-15 years, I'm just going to be so on it, you know, I'm just going to be like, be able to do this for so many items. And it's all about expanding your horizons and stuff. But yeah, I don't remember the first item I sold. It was, I believe it was a board game of some sort. It wasn't that Ravensburger, because that hung around for a while. But I believe it was a board game of some sort. I know that a very, very early sale of mine was a Twister board game. And I was underselling these board games like really badly, because I didn't know how to, well, I did know how to use complete and solds, but I wasn't like, I knew that from the start basically, because that was one of the first videos Nick, I saw of Nick, you know, checking complete and solds or something, or he did it in one of his videos anyway. And I was checking complete and solds, but I was kind of going quite low, because I was very, very shy. I was very unconfident. I didn't think that these items would sell at the prices they've been selling at, which is kind of bizarre to think like that now, but I thought if I pitch it lower, then it's definitely going to sell. And I was selling board games for like £6.99. I paid £1 or £2 for them, making basically 50p an item, or if that, or maybe £1 an item. Because I mean, you know, raw mail, it would be a small parcel, so it'd be best part of £3 postage, and then your fees and everything. So yeah, I would then be underselling these. But if I didn't undersell those board games at that early on, I really think that I might not have had as much persistence with reselling as I've had. Because if I shot too high on those prices of them board games and they didn't sell, and they kept not selling for week upon week upon week, I might not have been as enthusiastic for reselling along the journey, because I was underselling these items and we were selling really fast for me. That every sale I was getting more confident. I was thinking, oh my god, this is awesome, these things are actually selling. And then slowly over time I'd increase those prices because I'd get a bit more knowledge and thinking, actually I'm underselling these items. But I think that really helped me at the start as well. But I wanted, funnily enough, because that's kind of come up, I did want to talk today about what was it? Learn to Earn, I think the title of the video was. But before that, I'm just going to quickly go down the chat, because as I say, I don't know where we are. I can never keep up, so I apologise if I'm missing any questions and stuff. Right then. I used to buy unsealed Puzz 3Ds, thinking I'd hit the jackpot when I first started, lol. Wouldn't touch them. Yeah, I remember those videos when you said, like, you had... Did you have one time, I don't know whether this was that early on in your you know, video making, but... by the way, I'm talking to Darren as well, if you people who are watching back. Oh no, you'll be able to see the chat anyway. But, yeah, basically, I think you had like a... What was it? Was it Taj Mahal? Is that right? Is that how you pronounce the big building in India? Taj Mahal? Yeah, that's Mahal. I don't know. I'm sure you had one of them. But yeah, I wouldn't buy new unsealed puzzles. I mean, yeah, okay. There might be like one really valuable one. You know, it might be a Harry Potter puzzle. There's some Harry Potter puzzles that do quite well unsealed, and things like that. I think it's by Webbit, I think, is the puzzle makers. The only reason I know that is because for a time a few weeks ago, I'm not looking into it that much now, but for a time a few weeks ago I was looking into wholesale and things like that, and specifically, randomly enough, I was led down the route of wholesale jigsaw puzzles, and I looked into different brands and stuff and who I might be able to actually get, you know, manufacturers and brands who I could actually get these jigsaws off. But unfortunately, a lot of the puzzles that I was seeing on Amazon, because that's where I would be selling them via FBA, the sales ranks just weren't good enough. So the reason I know, you know, there's some good Harry Potter ones and, you know, there's these different brands is because I was doing that research into wholesale. But on eBay, yeah, I think those Harry Potter ones by it's WREBBIT, I think. And there's like Harry Potter, I think the Night Bus was one of them and stuff like that, and I think they do okay, even maybe unsealed, but you've got to weigh it up whether your time is, you know, whether it's efficient time wise. Gary says, has Electro escaped the handcuffs this week? The handcuff? Has Electro escaped oh no, he'll mean no, what do you mean handcuffs? She's never been in handcuffs, what are you on about? Sounds really weird, that. If someone was watching and then they thought she was an actual woman or something, that would be really weird. But no, Electra is my cat, by the way. And no, I've never put her in handcuffs. I'm not terribly mean or anything like that. Ads, you're back in the room now. Am I back in the... Why? What was I saying? Was I going on a rant or something? Right, where are we? Oh God, someone's... Oh God, it's jumping all over the place. One sec. Started 15 years ago selling rare VHS tapes. This is Gary Rhodes. Still sell them regularly, £20 to £50 each. Wow, that is awesome. So, of course, like, there is things like that the markets kind of just retain their value, you know, and that is awesome to, you know, to be told that actually there are markets out there on eBay, there are niches that will retain value. I mean, of course, like, if a lot of people got wind of that and were able to pick them up, you know, I mean, if they're rare anyway, not as many people would be able to pick them up, but if a large amount of people got wind of those actual specific ones, then that might harm the market a bit. But it is quite cool to see that there are items out there that can actually sustain themselves over such a long period. Where are we? I'll just go up very slightly. I've seen another question. Andy Robinson says, started watching ads 15 years ago, still waiting for him to answer a question. Oh, what have you asked a question specifically? What's your question? If I can actually see it in the chat, then I'll answer it. But God, I'm going up and down, and it's just crazy. Right, where are we in here? So, OMG, just realised I've got one box of brand new blankets in the car. This would have been a good time to list them. Yeah, it would have been. What type of blankets? Like linen ones, or like you know, big thick ones, like wool ones or something? Because I know those wool blankets do. I've never even picked up any blankets with. Oh no, I did. Saying that I did, and I sold one. I sold a what was it called now? Royal Scot. It had a little embroidered logo on it. It was Royal Scot, and it was a tartan blanket. It wasn't particularly thick. I think I sold it. I was going to say I think I bought it for about £2 or £3, but I was trying to remember what I sold it for, whilst also thinking what I bought it for, which was weird. But yeah, I think I sold it for like 18, like including postage or something. But yeah, I mean, I honestly, I keep thinking like I've not diversified into these certain niches, but then I think back, you know, I think back in my mind, I think, oh my God, I actually did sell one of them that time. You know, it's quite crazy. I mean, I was thinking to myself, really, the other day, there's not that many niches I've not at least dipped my toe in yet. I mean, baby stuff is one. Yeah, baby stuff is definitely one. Bikes, things like that. I've not sold a bike yet, or you know, like some sort of minor transportation related item. I've not sold any like car parts or things like. Oh wait, did I? No, I don't think I did. I nearly did pick up some car parts one time. I think they were like headlights or something. But no, I'd not sold any car parts. But yeah, I mean, I think now would be a good time to get them listed, especially. With the cold weather, you know, it's just terrible. It's the best time to get them listed now, because otherwise they might sit for a while. You know, people might not be thinking about cold weather or blankets over summer. So yeah, it's probably a good idea to get them listed. Right, I'll just quickly go up again, and then I'll go back down and see if there's any questions. Ads, which will happen first, Q4 or you actually teaching us how to learn to earn? Yes, good idea. Sorry, I was going to do that. Sorry. Right, one sec. Peter Cummins says, ads, you are a Nick Kills child. Actually, now you say it, I can see it. No, I don't mean, I mean, like, random. I don't mean, like, actually, like, biologically. I just meant, you know what I meant? You meant figuratively, or whatever the word is. So, yeah. Learn to earn, that is the kind of bit of a topic. So I bought this book, retail price, which was bloody expensive. As far, I mean, I don't want to recommend this book yet, because I've not read it all the way through. I've read bits and bobs, I've looked at the marks and stuff, and it does look like it's a, you know, a very good book and a reputable book. And when I was looking at, you know, other books on Amazon and stuff, this one seemed to shine. So, but I don't want to recommend it. But you know, you can have a look. There it is. It's the it's 1873 to 2011 Poole Pottery, and it's like it's kind of like a history book, a mark, like a guide to the marks and the makers and the decorators, and also it's like just a general educational book with regards to the styles, the patterns, the different things they produce. And yeah, I just sort of wanted to talk a little bit about kind of learning to earn. Oh no, the cover's slipping off here. One sec, see if this will go back down. There we go. The cover's slipping off a bit. But yeah, so that's the book anyway there. So, I mean, what I wanted to say, I wasn't necessarily meaning with reference to that book specifically. However, because I got that book, I kind of felt it would be a good topic today, and I actually posted on Instagram a picture of that book with the little tagline, Learn to Earn, and that's what made me think, oh, I may as well do it for a topic this week. And what it made me think is, sometimes what we can do in reselling is we can kind of go out there and we'll go to the car booths and we'll go to the charity shops and we'll go wherever else to get stock, auctions or whatever. We'll go out there and we'll pick up what we want to pick up, we'll bring it back and we'll see how much it's worth.
that's the kind of focus. We'll see how much it's worth. We want to know how much we can turn our £1 or our £5 or our £3 or our £20, how much we can turn that money into. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is what we do as a job. That is fantastic. However, what I sort of felt I needed to do, or felt that the direction I wanted to go in, was to learn about the items, you know, specifically not about whether something has a greater value than something else, but learn about the items, the companies, the marks, the decorators, all these different things specific to the things that I really enjoy or really want to sell. And as I've said for so many months now on this channel, the biggest thing I want to sell is things like antiques and collectibles, things like specifically honing down a niche in antiques and collectibles, specifically probably studio pottery, art pottery, you know, decorative pottery, things like that, which is, you know, pool pottery, or pool pottery encompasses quite a lot of that, as well as many other, you know, many other factories and makers and all that sort of stuff. But I felt like I needed to really learn about the company, really learn about all these different companies, you know, Royal Dalton or Royal Worcester or I don't know, Wedgwood, or you know, even just local potters and things like that, and not just learn about the items and you know, and the prices and stuff like that, but learn about the people who behind them, you know, about how they made them, what they made them out of, what their marks were, what marks did they put on a you know, a piece to identify it was them, what little kind of hidden Easter eggs there might be. Like, there might be, I don't know, I'm just guessing at this point, but there might be a little mark that is on a certain piece of whatever pottery that is like a little kind of Easter egg that might have only been produced from a very, very short time period by a certain maker, and it's massively, massively sought after because it's such like a little, you know, short time period, and it's kind of like a little hidden Easter egg or a hidden gem, and learn about all these different things. And not only that, but, you know, learn about the people behind the pieces, you know, when they lived, how they lived, you know, things about them other than what they did as a job, like pottery and stuff. Learn about their lives before they were introduced to, you know, pottery and things like that, and see that how their life prior to them being a potter or a decorator or an artist or anything like that, see how their life impacted their later work. I really want to like draw it all in and inhale it, you know, and inhale this knowledge. And then, instead of being able to, you know, say to someone, let's say, you know, oh, that's a piece of pool pottery, it was made by this person in 1976 or whatever, I can say, you know, I can give them a backstory about that person's life, and I can carry on that tradition, because I do feel like antiques and collectibles, it's carrying the past forward. And not only should we carry the past forward in its physical form of, you know, pieces of pottery or metalware or whatever it is, but I feel like we should carry the people's history forward as well behind those pieces. So that's what I kind of wanted to do, and I feel like, you know, for so long I've neglected doing that, and I feel like, you know, being quite open and honest, I feel like I need to do that to become, to make myself feel more worthy of selling this stuff as well. And I feel like I need to, you know, create a reference library of books and, you know, all these, you know, all the different things, even online sources or catalogues online, or, you know, Word documents online that I've typed up myself and stuff like that. And really learn and reference and intake all this information that what I feel is maybe the correct way. You know, someone else might say it's not the correct way. Maybe you should just, you know, maybe you should just buy and sell the pieces. But to me, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to realize a dream of actually learning about this stuff and learning about the history and continuing that tradition on. And I do feel it is, especially when you're selling things like antiques and collectibles, it is more of a tradition. It feels like more of a weight, and that weight needs to be, you know, it needs to be upheld, you know, it needs to be upheld, and I need to do that to the best of my ability, because all I keep thinking is in 50 years or so, when the people, let's say there's someone who's a little bit older than me now and who can teach me this knowledge, right, and who can bestow upon me this knowledge and help me out with learning this knowledge, they necessarily won't be around when I'm, you know, 50, 60, 70. So then that weight will fall to me. I'll be the one who needs to pass that knowledge down in its sort of more personal form and be able to teach people on a personal level about that. Because yes, I mean, they could just look in books in 50 years time or whatever, but I kind of feel like I want it to be a tradition that's passed on and be more personal, as well as using your reference books, using your online sources and stuff, and learning that way. So I feel like it's, I don't know, I feel it's, I don't want to say a holy type thing, because that's a bit, it's not the right word, but it's just like it, I feel like I need to have a sense of pride in that, in what I do, in what I learn, and then pass it on, and just do it that way, really. I don't know, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on this? What do you think? Do you think I'm just being OTT? I'm just like taking it to another level? Do you think that this is maybe it's a good route to go down? You know, you're learning, you know, you can pass that on to the next generation. You feel as if you've done the right thing because you've learned all this knowledge, you've soaked it up, and getting on to the actual earning part, because I did say this is learn to earn. The focus does have to be, for me, on the learning more than the earning, because when you learn, and when you learn in a lot of detail, you will then earn anyway, because you will know all of these different potters, you will know all of this different information, and then you can pick up a piece of pottery and you can look at the bottom of it and you can see the maker's mark on there, the studio mark, or the factory mark, or whatever else it is, or the pattern number, or whatever else it is, and you can know that that is a piece that retails for da-di-da-di-da anyway. So when you learn all that information and you choose something that you're very passionate about, you can then you can just earn anyway. You know, you go to an auction, you know that piece retails for between this and this. Maybe you pick it up in a small job lot, and maybe you pick that job lot up for £50. Maybe there's, you know, an £80 piece in there and a couple of 30-40 quid pieces in there. You know exactly how to describe that. You know exactly how to answer any questions that come your way on eBay, because you're very knowledgeable in the area. You'll know exactly how to identify it and what it is, and you don't need to actually rely upon the auction's description, and you can trust your own judgment on it, and you can feel happy that you're doing the right thing in what you're doing. You know, you've learned about it, you know what you're selling, you know your field, you know your area. So if you learn all this, it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be pottery. If your thing is video games, or your thing is, I don't know, or like DVDs, or whatever it is, I can't even think at the moment, but games, or, you know, vintage games, things like that, whatever your thing is, if you can still do the same as with pottery. There's still marks to look out for. It's just in the form of Kenner, or, you know, copyright Kenner 1992, or Necker, or any of these other brands. There's still the same things to be done in most respects with vintage video gaming. It, you know, it's looking out for certain you know, titles of games that are good, that are rare, that are sought after. You know, with, I don't know, maybe with Warhammer it's a similar thing. Maybe it's expansion packs, that maybe there's one expansion pack that is the holy grail. So I don't want to appear unrelatable to you when I say this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm learning with pool pottery or with antiques. It can be done in any field, and you can do it. And if you build up that vast amount of knowledge, not only trying to look at how much that thing is worth, but build the knowledge about, you know, what was who created the company Kenner? When was it? When did it get created? Why was it created? What was that individual's passion for creating that company? Was that individual or group of individuals very passionate about creating action figures and things like that to create the company. You know, look really into the company, look about the people behind it, and then you've got the story to be able to tell people as well. And all this just helps for saleability of the item, because you can put some of this, not, you know, I wouldn't suggest you put like a big write-up of the company in your eBay listings, because it's not necessary. But if someone was to ask the question, you know, look, why did maybe this action figure have this little thing put in it here, you can respond, and you can talk to them on a personal level about that, and you can also be happy to do that because you're very, very passionate about the item. And again, whatever it may be, you're kind of passing along that knowledge, and you're soaking up that knowledge that I feel is a good thing to do, is the right thing to do. So I don't know, I've just rambled for about half an hour there, so I'll see what everyone else says in the chat. But yeah, I think it's quite a nice thing, you know, learning about things to then eventually progress to earning, you know, by reselling those items. But I feel like, you know, learning about it is an important thing, especially with antiques and collectibles. I think that learning about the things behind the pieces is important. So yeah, anyway, what are we doing? Mr. Kenner, aged 42, lived in High Street, Bedford, hated other potters. Who, Mr. Kenner, is that a joke? I don't know whether that's a joke or not. Oh no. Anyway, we'll go. I don't know whether that was a joke or not. I think it was a joke. Right, let's see. You take everything to another level, Adler. Anyway, I don't know. I mean, you see these, I can't really take it that far, because you see these guys on Antiques Roadshow and that, and they're lusting after these pieces. They're like drooling over these pieces. So, I mean, I'm not exactly like that, you know. I wouldn't say I take it to that far of a level, you know. I just feel it's a tradition, and it should be upheld, and it should be learnt about. And I don't know, I don't want to regret anything. That's the thing. I really do think about, I don't want to regret anything. So I've got to try and do what I feel is best for me to do, so that then I won't regret it. So maybe I do take it to a bit far. I don't know. Highlander took their life away too, so maybe it was something else. Oh, I think we're just having a chat again. It can't do no harm, ads, to have info in your head that can give you that edge to pick something up. And the good thing as well is, when you've got this information, other dealers or other resellers might not have that same information, especially if you've been learning and like constantly learning it. And you know, every single day, you know, you might read a page or two of a book, or a few pages of a book, and then you keep advancing year upon year. You get different books, you expand, and everyone can't know everything. I completely understand that, and that's why I'm trying to hone in. I would never say to myself, look, one day I'm going to be an expert on every single field of antiques. You know, every single thing in antiques I'm going to know, because I won't know that. I won't know that. But I can certainly say to myself, well, look, I'll start on pool pottery, and I'll become somewhat knowledgeable on that, or, you know, a little bit knowledgeable on that, let's say. And then I'll think, right, what other company do I like? What other company? Maybe I might just do it as simply as, what other company sounds cool? You know, what company sounds cool? Like, I don't know, Royal Copenhagen, that sounds cool. I think that's another company. So, yeah, that sounds cool. So I might think, oh, right, that sounds cool. I bet that's interesting. And I'll look into that. Or, I don't know, like Capodimonte figures or something. I mean, I'll get a book. You know what I mean? I'm just like expanding that range. And then I'll do it slowly. I'll build it up slowly, because what you've got to realise is you don't need to do everything fast. It can be a slow process. You don't have to like be rushing to get the next thing and do the next thing and learn, you know, like learn really, really quickly. The intake of knowledge needs to be slow, so that then you can digest it and you can look at it properly, and you can actually reflect upon that learning and be able to say, right, have I got this right? Are my facts straight here? Like, I've read a few pages of that book the other night, and I read a few pages last night, and I could tell you right now a few things out of that book. However, because I've not read it a second time or read it a third time, there might be a few different dates I might get wrong and stuff like that. So if I've got to be slow with the learning. I've got to make sure I'm properly on it, and I'm reading things back, and I'm making sure I'm getting dates correct and things like that. Otherwise, I'm not really learning it. If I'm just trying to blast through the book or whatever, and I'm just trying to get through it as quick as possible, there's no point. I won't learn it, and I won't enjoy it as much, because I've found that actually when I've been dedicating a little bit of time to reading this book at night, the last couple of nights, and I've been really enjoying what I've been reading and learning about the little bit of history that is in that book. The little sort of first couple of chapters or whatever that's about the history, and yeah, I've really enjoyed learning about that. So if you do take it slow, I think you do enjoy it a lot more as well. Well, right, we'll just see. I came unprepared, nothing to list, we'll do later. Oh yeah, actually, I did photos of 26 items today, which is really cool, because normally I do like 10 items, like 10, 12 items. So I was quite happy. I've got 26 photos done. I might list them all tonight. I might maybe do 20, and then I might do a few more tomorrow. I'll get a few more pictures and then do the other however many tomorrow. But yeah, I was really impressed with that, because I did that. I've done my packaging. I've done Thursday talks. I bought a load of other packaging supplies, because I'm running low on a few packaging supplies. So I've done quite a bit today. What else did I do? Something else I did as well. Well, I've got it on my to-do list. Oh, someone came to collect something as well, so he was happy with that, so that was quite cool. But yeah, it's been pretty productive today. I've tried to not let the weather, because I mean, a lot of this weather, it can get you a little bit down. So I've tried to not let that creep into my mind. I've tried to keep going, keep pushing, and to be honest, it has been pretty productive today. I think, like, Tuesday, Wednesday were like that. I wasn't really productive, but I think today I've done all right. So yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's been going today, despite the weather. So I'll just go up slightly. It's at SibK, having to meet ads in real life and getting stuck in his house during a 36-hour conversation. No, despite what you may think, I'm not this crazy in person. Well, it depends where you meet me, right? If you meet me, if there was a dance floor, I would be way crazier than I am right now, in terms of my physical movements. And if there wasn't a dance floor and it was like a cafe or whatever, I'd probably be still quite talkative, but I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't be like as intense as I am on Thursday talks, but I would be quite talkative. I just am quite a talkative person, as probably a lot of people gathered. But I'm no way near, like on Thursday talk, I don't know why I can just like, boom, I can just vomit words out of my mouth. It's like the speed in which I talk is incredible. I don't even know how I do it really, but yeah, I mean, and people keep saying to me, breathe, and it's like, I am breathing, but I'm breathing in between the like right now, I mean, I'm not actively trying to breathe, but like I think that what I'm doing is breathing. Yeah, I am. I'm breathing in between the letters, or well, not the letters, the words in between, a tiny little gap, like a little millisecond. And I'm like, right, I'll squeeze one in. But yeah, so I don't know. Everyone says I need to breathe, but I don't. I'm all right. After Thursday talks, I'm not lightheaded or anything, so it's fine. Maybe when I've been doing this another 30 years or so, I might need to calm down a little bit. But for now, I'm all right. Right then, where are you? Quickly go up in the chat. We are very nearly getting to time, so I'll just quickly go up. Ads the guru. No, I'm not a guru. I've never said. Have I ever said I'm a guru? I don't know, but I wouldn't say I'm a guru. Even like if I was doing, let's say I'm still doing this at 72 years old, so in 50 years, if I'm still doing this in 50 years, I might, if I do feel like I've attributed enough knowledge to the community and I feel like I have got enough knowledge on reselling, I might one time call myself a guru, because if I don't, and then I end up dying or whatever, and I'm not called myself a guru once, I'll be like, you know what, but I just wanted to call it myself once, so yeah, I might have the pride or the ego in 50 years time to once call myself a guru, but I would never call myself a guru yet, no way near. And even in 50 years time, I don't think I would necessarily be a guru. I just don't like the name. I don't think it fits. I mean, I like the word expert, but I don't particularly like people who call themselves experts, if you know what I mean. So I like the word expert in what it encompasses, you know, in terms of being an expert, you have vast knowledge in a certain field. I like that definition, and that's what I might describe myself as, you know, in like years and years and years to come, if I do feel like I am that. But then I would hate myself for calling myself an expert, because I've never really liked people who like are self-confessed experts, you know. Now, if someone was to say to me, you know, in 20, 30, 40 years time, oh, you're an expert at this, then I might not refuse it, you know, just because of my own sort of ego or pride. But I wouldn't want to like directly call myself an expert. However, I would at one point in my life, maybe the last few years of my life, I would like to at least think that to someone I was an expert, or at least call myself an expert once, because I kind of just have that little bit of egotisticalness that wants me to do that, you know. So but yeah, I'd never call myself a guru, an expert, or anything like that. No way near yet. If I ever was to, it would be no way near yet. It'd have to be years and years to come. But yeah, so where are we? We'll just go down. I've probably missed so many questions, so I apologise. I can't blooming keep up with it. How many people have we had in? We've had 46 in. To be honest, I think that's about where we're at. You know, I think 46 is normally where, you know, where we kind of lay our little level, you know, and I quite like 46, because 46 is a nice number of people, you know. Like 100 people or 150 people, I'd be a little bit like, oh god, you know, I probably wouldn't be as talkative with 100 people or 150 people, but with 46 people, it's quite a nice level, because it's like kind of, it feels small enough to me to be able to manage and to feel connected to people, but it doesn't feel too large to feel like daunting and stuff like that. So I quite like being at 46, you know, on Thursday Talks. Like 40 to 50, you know. I had there's been one live show that I've done that had like 86 people or something, and oh my god, I was getting like really on edge, because I was like, oh my god, we've got 86 people in here. It's like, whoa, that's crazy. And that was the live stream. I got like a load of people came in the chat, like trolling or spamming or whatever, and that was when I actually started to you know, get admins or moderators or whatever on the channel, because god, it was terrible, that was. Right, where are we? Well, ads, you can't keep up with 46 ads, and Z, oh, and Z have 200 plus. Oh yeah, why did I just say I can keep up with 46? I can't keep up with 46, can I? Right then, geez, I need a lie down. These ads chats always wear me out. I don't know why, it should wear me out more than anyone. Right then. 46 is good, 45 is lonely, 47 is claustrophobic. Oh my god, that's class. Right then, where are oh, for God's sake, Jason, you're referencing that again. I did not say, let me get this again on the record, I did not say by the time you're 50 you're old. I did not say that. I said there's a period between like, I think it was like 46 and like 57 or something, or 46 and 60, that you're in a weird like gap between middle-aged and old. Because how many, realistically, how many 100-year-olds do you know? I mean, if you're middle-aged at 50, I can't see it. It's my personal opinion. I know people probably slate me for it, but, well, actually, you have slated me every week, someone says it, but I will, let me get this straight, I did not say at 50 you are old or anything like that. I like to be very logical about things I do. Like, so, get this. I've not ever said this on Thursday Talks, but get this, right? Between morning and lunchtime, right, is 12 AM to 12 PM, or 11:59:59 and then milliseconds. And then 12 PM to 5 PM, or 4:59:59 and then obviously milliseconds, is afternoon. And people will say that I'm wrong on this, I can guarantee it. But then 5 o'clock, right, to 7 o'clock is then what's known as evening for me, right? That's evening, that 2-hour gap, 2-hour gap. Then from 7 to midnight is night time, right? That's my kind of system. Because if you say 2 o'clock in the morning, that's in the morning. So night time 7 to 12. Now I know some people will say at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock at night, that's in the evening. I know that, but to me, I don't like that. I like logic. I like being, you know, I like dividing the day up and making sure, right, that's that, that's that, that's that, and I know what I'm doing in the segments of the day. So that's why I divide age up like that. That's why I kind of have that structure for age, because I'll tell you this now, I don't think people look at life the same way I look at life. I'm not saying I look at life in a bad way or a depressive way or anything like that. I just look at it in maybe a different way, like a more structured way, or like I divide things up into segments and I cross-reference them with areas of time and stuff. And yeah, it's very weird how my brain works, but I like it, so yeah. Ads needs a bigger spade for that hole he's digging. Yeah, I know. Oh my god. Is Ad ageist? I'm not ageist. Right, look, I get old at the same way everyone else gets old. So one day, I'm going to be calling myself old. So how can I be ageist? And I will happily call myself old. If I'm old, then I'll be old, you know? And I'm happy to take that fact. I'm just more logic. I just look at logic. I don't look at feelings. I look at more logic, you know, like, it's logical, this makes sense that this age is attached to this description. That's all I mean. I don't find it logical to say when you're 60 or when you're 50 or whatever, you're middle-aged, because logically, humans unfortunately don't live on average to 100, you know? So I'm not aged, I'm just saying it with logic. I know, you know, it may hurt people's feelings and stuff to say that, but when I get to 50, I'm going to be quite honest with myself and say, look, you know, I'm not necessarily middle-aged, I'm not old, but I'm somewhere in between, you know, I'm in that kind of range, you know? And just how I think about it. If I don't say that when I'm 50, and I keep saying to you guys, oh, I'm young now, I'm 50, I'm young, then you can call me a hypocrite, then you can call me someone who's, like, totally ridiculous or out of his mind or whatever. But for now, and leading up to when I'm 50, we'll see what I say when I'm 50. But if I'm 50 and I call myself in that little weird zone, then I know I've done right by my own logic. Yes, Ads is ageist. I am so, which according to Ads is practically... I read that as so. I am 50, which according to Ads is practically dead. I didn't say practically dead. I never said that on that show. Oh my god, you're so funny. I did not say, everyone's saying it for me. Everyone's like, oh, everyone's saying, yeah, oh, Ads, you said to Lisa that she's dead. It's like, no, I did not. I didn't say that. You won't say that when you are 50, guaranteed. Yeah, I probably won't. And then you can no, I'll tell you what. Then you can call me a hypocrite, and then you can call me all them nasty names for being wrong, basically. By the end of this chat, you'll be 50. I know I will. Yeah, I better go now. Thank you for joining me, as always, guys. I've got some more videos coming out over the week. Well, what is it? I've got a video coming out tomorrow. I think I've got a video coming out Sunday and Monday or something, so plenty more content for me coming. Peter says, Ads cabinet update. I haven't been down. I'm going down this weekend. I've not rang up or anything. As I say, the last time I checked was the last time you knew, and I had done like 41 quid or something. So I'm hoping that when I go down at weekend, I'll have got a few more sales in February, and that'll help me, you know, top me up. But yeah. You're only as old as the woman you've imprisoned. Oh god, that is terrible. You say I'm bad. Look at that comment. That is terrible. I am 54 I was 21 when this chat started. Oh, that's crazy. Ads, you need to get social. Yeah, maybe I do. I think that's probably it. I think if I was more social, I don't think I would... I don't know. I don't think I would see life as logical, and maybe I would see life with more feeling. I'm 50 next week on the 7th. Oh, that's the same 7th of March. That's the same birthday as my mum. Oh my god, you and my mum are the same age. That's really crazy. Like, you and my mum are like exactly the same age. Like, she's going to be 50 on the 7th. That is crazy. Oh my god, that is really cool. I can't believe that. I just can't believe it. You've got the same birthday and you'll be the same age. Not only have you got the same birthday, but you're the same age. Like, you're the same exact age. That is so cool. Right, anyway, I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for joining me. If you did like it, give it a like as always. If you want to see more content from me, there will be more content coming, as I mentioned. And what else is there left to be said? As I said, there will be more live streams coming soon as well, once I've got all my new computer up and running, so that should be pretty cool. And also, I don't know whether the quality will be any better, but I might upgrade my webcam, you know, a little bit further down the road, so quality might improve with that as well. So yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. So I'll see you very soon.